Are we ready to jazz this up?
Go, baby, go!
Let's go! Welcome back to Hobbies with Jose, everybody. So good to have you back. Today is the day where we finally finish up our Studio Series 8601 Jazz. And this is, of course, where my desk remains the most cluttered right before finishing up a new project. But we are definitely going to get this done today. We do have some minor painting left to do and finish up the decals, but there's a couple of things I didn't notice about the decals. Now, because the decals are meant to go over the figure that's unpainted, they don't provide for you this black stripe that's over the front windshield. All they really give you are just the white martini racing words that are meant to go over it. So that means we need to make our own. First of all, shoutouts to Vampy on the Discord. She just knocked it out of the park on the last trivia night, and she came away the new trivia champ, rightly earned. So she would like me to plug her own Discord where they like to discuss art and music. Sounds pretty good, and you can take a visit in the link below. Okay, but also a shout out to Slay in the Discord. He recommended these awesome decals to me, and the project wouldn't be what it is without him, so thank you so much, dude. Speaking of those decals, I think that's what really makes this project. Now at first, when I thought I wasn't going to be able to find a set like this, I thought I was going to have to settle for stickers, which it isn't bad, but decals are so much cleaner though. They are definitely durable, and there's been multiple times where I had to lift them and replace them. Thankfully, none of them tore because of that, but there was one issue. The larger ones that go over the rear wheels were unfortunately touching a bit of the adjacent plastic, so once I turned the entire section, a small piece of the decal got stuck with the other piece of plastic. Thankfully, it's not too noticeable, so it's not a deal breaker, but I do recommend that when you apply that piece, you already have that section turned. Which of course many of you have asked where to get this decal set, and I have added links to the previous videos, which I'll go ahead and do so here as well. Now obviously they do shine a lot more in car mode, that's when you see them all, but for the few that you see in bot mode, they definitely complete the look. Speaking of which, this transformation is a lot trickier because of the paint. Every time I do it, I get a little bit of an extra chip on that white paint, so I don't think I'll be transforming him very much. But I mean, he makes a fantastic bot mode. Have I mentioned that I love jazz? But I really couldn't be happier with how he turned out, and I really don't even need a masterpiece at this point. I'm just kidding, Takara Tommy, give me one. But I like him, I like him. Now let's talk the arm fillers a bit, shall we? Overall, they get the job done. They're pretty good. However, even after a coat of paint and panel lining, you can still tell they're 3D printed. Those little ridges are hard to miss, but it still looks a heck of a lot better than without them. Now, as far as the durability, that's another issue. They did fit pretty tight to begin with, and even though I masked certain sections, after painting them, it kind of made them a little bit worse. So much so that one of them fully snapped, unfortunately. But I was able to glue it back together again and sand off the sides where it was just a snug enough fit, not too tight. But again, I'm happy with them, and they get the job done. So I think overall, it was probably one of the most challenging, but not in a frustrating way, just in a patience and trying to be overly careful kind of way, but I would say one of the most rewarding too. After this project, I think I love jazz even more. But that Studio Series 8601 Jazz completed and in the books. Now after a short little break, I actually do know what I want to work on next. So I did recently have a chance to pick up Studio Series 16 RC, and I think she's a good figure. I want to see what she'll look like with a nice coat of paint. But that's not all. I picked this up too. So yeah, I don't want my backlog to keep growing while I only work on new figures. I do want to take a bigger dent this time and maybe get a chance to see what they would both look like fully painted. I think that'd be pretty cool. But that's not all. But I've actually had this one for even longer, and if I don't do her now, if I don't paint her now, I don't think I ever will. So join me in a few weeks where we're going to start doing a triple RC thread customization extravaganza. I'm making a big mistake, aren't I?